Mercedes, the album, this is the band's last studio album for a 12-year plus period. There was a hiatus there. And during that time, so David Usher is releasing solo albums. You were a part of the solo albums as well, right? Between the writing and recording and also a part of the touring band. Is that correct?
Only touring. I mean, we have, we would get together and write, but I mean, the David solo stuff is very much David. And Jeff and I were both blessed to play with that. It's actually the second iteration of his solo band, but the first touring iteration. John was actually in the very first iteration after Little Songs. We only played a couple of gigs on that record. But yeah, I've toured with them throughout that entire time period, and hope to do more David shows in the future.
Yeah, I love that, because normally when a singer from a band goes out and does a solo project, it's like he wants to get the hell away from the band that he was in, you know? So it's like new musicians, new producers that he works with. And I love that in his case, it's like he brought everyone along, and it showed the relationship that you guys had. So I thought that was actually pretty endearing.
David and I have been friends since high school and are very close, and he's very close to the band. And he did expand. He worked with a lot of different people. He's worked with a lot of different musicians over time. But he also, he values friendships. He values loyalty, and he values working relationships that work. He worked very closely with Paul Northfield on his first solo record, who had done Creature, and this was recorded after Creature. And, a record that I absolutely love, Little Songs. David values loyalty, but also, as I say, relationships that are creative and based on something beyond maybe this will work.
Yeah, his output with his solo stuff is pretty impressive. I mean, there's more David Usher solo albums than there are Moist albums, Absolutely. Right? Like quite a bit more, I think.
Absolutely. And often programming keys for David shows has sometimes been a lot more challenging than programming some of definitely the early Moist stuff, but
What do you think makes David Usher such a great front man?
He sticks the landing every time. Let's put it that way. He sticks the landing every time. He sticks it in the studio, and he sticks it on stage. He brings the same level of passion and power to the stage that he brings to record. It's very faithful. And, just really at the heart of it, he's just he's a wonderful singer, but he's an excellent frontman. He's got that, that X factor, that
charisma.
That charisma that for looking back at the bands I've played with over time, I've always wanted to be in a really good live band. And we always felt with Moist that it was a very good live band. A lot of that was hung on David. And same as David's solo record. People would come to see David's solo band play, and they didn't expect the show they got. Because they didn't, they might think, oh, it might not rock as much, or it might not, I mean, he's just a phenomenal performer.